everyone and welcome. This is Emiliano and I'm bringing you this video today to show you my deck list that I used to get second place in Glasgow Grand Open for Battle Spirit Saga this past weekend. Just want to make this quick video to show you the list, walk you through my choices and the matchups, and hopefully can be helpful leading up to the Pro Tour. So let's dive into it. Obviously, yeah, you can roll your eyes. I played an X-Spider white control list. I mean, there is some difference between this and the list that you might have seen coming from North America. Not much, but hopefully still value to walk through the choices and why you might choose something different yourself. So yeah, let's have a look. So starting from the spirits, we have Elemental Snowbit. Great card. I think obviously in white, where the draw power is very limited, it's a great engine for that draw. Although throughout the weekend, I have to say I've used it much more for the ramp and playing big guys. There was a lot of Black Jaguar, a lot of Thunder Leon. So the kind of risk reward to play it wasn't great. Plus, against like more skilled players that know how to count your resources, know when to swing, not to swing, and have a bit of a sense of like which turn a big creature can come out. If we keep the Snowbit in hand and use it to accelerate our play is actually pretty great. So one thing to keep in mind. X-Spider is a card. We know this card. We hate it. We love it. For as long as it's gonna be here and playable, it's a great card. Just helped me a lot throughout the weekend, as you can imagine. Grey Gamer, fantastic card. I would say one of the MVPs, if that's a thing. I love this card. I actually took the place of Pegasian. Pegasian was in my list for a long time. I really like Pegasian, but Grey Gamer in 3 copies because I was expecting a lot of purple, a lot of white control, and a lot of red. So matchup per matchup, looking at Grey Gamer versus Pegasian against red, I like the 2-core 6k possible trade with the Dinoman, opposed to the 7k of the Pegasian that still is probably a trade because they will have a Nexus that bumps 1k, plus you need 5 cores on the Pega. Against white, we have white armor. I really like the white armor and Grey armor, especially because we can do some cute things with Dyna targeting Grey armor, and be sure that those pesky dream bombs that are in every deck right now won't kill your mojo. And then against purple, actually, I found that Pegasian can be a liability at times because it gives Deadly Balance too much power. Deadly Balance, I see it more and more in terms of like, I felt like it went down in copies, like 2 maybe per deck, and now it's up to 4 again. And with Pegasian is down with an X-Spider, that Deadly Balance becomes like choose a target and destroy for 1, right? Because if I'm down an X-Spider and a Pegasian and maybe a Elephant or one of the other big guys and they Deadly Balance, obviously Dyna has that self-protection, but it's only during attack steps. So again, really clutch in those situations. Love Grey Armor. Black Jaguar, 2 copies. Great card. Love that one summon effect. It helped me a lot during the weekend. lots of targets, lots of targets. The zero cost, of course, but also like a 1-core Beldegor, a 1-core Lamorak, if I'm not wrong. We can double check. But I'm fairly confident. Yep. A lot of targets in purple, really. Although some good players remove their Camelot Knights to go around the Black Jaguar and the Thunder Leons, but amazing card. And then I actually gonna talk about him in a second and deserve a spotlight. But Derm Dyna 3 copies. I played Dyna in 4 copies for the longest time, and then I just had to give up and put a copy of Enterprise instead of the 4th Dyna. Am I glad I did it? Yes. Would I do it again? Yes. Did I want to do it? No. I just don't. I like Enterprise, but like the value versus the cost for it at times is really not justified. Although some games are just decided on Enterprise going down, so I know it's a great card. It helped me maybe in a couple of games. Not super impactful, as you can tell. Like it's in 1 copy. I have 1 inside. We'll see the side in a minute. But other than that, Dyna, amazing card. I think one thing I would say about Dyna that not many players know, maybe, I don't know, but there's so many curse deck right now, and obviously when Meduk is down and it's fully cored up, it's super scary. But other than that, like Dyna is a limited blocker against a course unit, right? During either attack step, when the spirit would be destroyed by opponent effect, you pay a core, keep it on the field, refresh. That core doesn't need to come from Dyna. So, if they swing with 3 cores and you have 3 cores on the field, you can just pay the cores wherever they are and just refresh him, and just becomes this great shield. 4 elephants, probably best card in white, to be honest. It's fantastic. I think what's really important is to think about when do we need it for the refresh, or when do we need it for the value of the cards in the cores. So obviously you can just like play as soon as you see it, but you gotta kind of think about the timings at times, and how do you get value out of it, right? And for example, in the final, I actually had to suppress an eagle to kind of crush my elephant. So Alex swung with an eagle that was 7k, block 7k, and then they pay for a spell, can't remember, and use the cores of the eagle, bring it down to 4, and I just resuppressed to crush the elephant. It was what I needed because I had only 2 cards in end. But yeah. 3 ages. So is at 3 to get max value out of Newman City, but realistically is in 3 because it's just good when you see it. It served me really well across the weekend, just being comfortable taking the damage, and just being able to get some life back and draw a card. The second level is not that impactful, is not that important, believe it or not, and that's why I was comfortable using it to ascend on Turborex. So Turborex is my MVP for the weekend. It was my big bet for the weekend. Maybe I wanted it to work more than it worked, but it did work a lot. It won me maybe 5, 6 games, and some key games. It won me my top 4 game. So essentially Turborex brought me to the final. Why Turborex? Again, the rationale was around the fact that majority of white would be white controls, and they would play the elk because Caleb played Elk, and a lot of other players played Elk. So my thought process was, well, if I'm playing against an Elk, it becomes this race. Whoever finds the Elk first wins, quote unquote. So then if my opponent finds Elk first, what can give me an edge in like changing the game? Like, one is Dyna for the unblockable, but they could have the ice shield, right? So Turborex really came out as super clutch to interrupt the tempo. And maybe I'll give you like some examples when we look at the matchups, but amazing, like MVP. Love Turborex. Next we have Newman City, 3 copies. I haven't played Rocket City this tournament. Like there were like a few debates on like whether 1 or 2 copies were warranted to be played because of red and purple, but ultimately the value that this Nexus puts down and the threat itself, I think it's really good. So I preferred, and obviously let's not forget that Turborex is a target. So we have 3 ages, 4 elephants, and 2 Turborex. Depths, whatever. Yeah, they're gonna ban it. You guys win. And then Ice Shield and Avalanche. So I have 2 Avalanche and 1 Infinity Shield. Why? Well, couple of reasons. There are more and more unblockable. So Dyna and Joker being 2, but then yellow. I was expecting like some people to play some yellow unblockable, to be honest. And the second reason is this guy. There's a few. All the lists now play Enterprise. If they are uber patient and super disciplined and they play the Elk, they might play the Enterprise first, then the Elk, and then never swing. But there is the chance that they're going to swing, and so Avalanche doesn't target. We can bounce the Enterprise. We can bounce whatever, even if they have white armor. So I chose that over the 2 shields. Still have 1 shield and 4 suppressions. Yes, there are a lot of unblockable, but there are a lot of blockable and aggro. And suppression is good for those cute things that I said in terms of like bumping their spirits to crush your Numenguard, or bumping their Meduke to avoid Blood Curse and whatnot. For Burning Force, because you have to play for Burning Force, it actually is a really good card in white, although it costs 5, makes me cry. But we are lucky in white anyway. And 4 Dream Bombs, just a great, super important cards. For the side, I'm trying to go a bit quicker now. I'm Italian, so I speak a lot. 10 cards in my side, 52 in main. King Vulture, we've seen in North America made it to main deck. I think it was a super smart choice from was it Caleb and is it Kamiya? Sorry if I butchered the name, but like it was a very a brave but very good choice, because they placed very well in the one before. They played the Rockasy and the Depths, and now like they're like countering their own list essentially. But I didn't feel like playing in main. I chickened out. But against purple and like the mirror at times, I would take out, especially purple curse. I would take out the 3 Greg Armor and put 2 vultures and 1 extra black jaguar. The 3rd black jaguar felt great. I'm very happy I put a 3rd one inside, and I sided many games. 1 extra Enterprise. Yes, I didn't want to put 1 in main, but if I put 1 in main, I need 1 inside necessarily. And I mean, I'll cut it some slack. Like it's a great card. It's great. It's just me. Cursed Dragon. I'm very happy with Cursed Dragon. I didn't have to use it, to be honest. So I I mean, even if it wasn't there, it wouldn't have changed too much. But I wish I would have been able to play it in the final. I didn't have time. But yeah, against red, it's just they don't expect it, and I just sided it for the Enterprise. Because, I mean, I don't want to lose my Enterprise to Giganorex. For Steel Leaves, many, I think, underrate this card. It's a great card. Mainly sided against red for 2 depths. Depths against red is a awful card. You're essentially paying 6, skipping a turn, and then you're giving them the chance to, worst case scenario, pay 3 to remove it. Best case scenario is Nexus Hazard. They pay 2 to destroy it, and they draw a card. It's like, it's just awful. So I put these 2 in. If I could go back, these would be 2 core drains, because I would still, I think, prefer the core drains. I have 1 extra Infinity Shield for aggro matchups, and then this secret tech that wasn't that secret, but many people were not expecting it. This is how you deal with Joker. This is the most effective way we found to deal with Joker. We thought about like Counter Sword and a bunch of other stuff, like obviously Core Drain can't kill it because people don't put more than 3 cores. But how do you deal with the Joker when it comes down, other than this card? And to be honest, like all the matchups, all the tests I've done against Terra, 2 out of 3 times I would lose against lose for a Joker. So yeah, Flame Breath. So this was the deck. Hopefully it was interesting going through it. And I'm going to talk about the matchups really quickly. I have some notes here. So this is the final standing. But yeah, day 1 of Swiss, there was 76 players. And the funniest part was the night before the tournament, I tested with the boys. Shout out to the boys. We have a great group going on. But yes, so I tested with my mate Connor, and he was playing red. And so we tested together, and I beat him twice. And then we looked at his list, and I looked at how he played red. We thought about like a different approach, played 2 more games, he won. Next thing you know, first game of Swiss is against Connor, obviously. So essentially like we kind of workshop how to beat me, and then the first round it was against me. Anyway, it was unfortunate to play Connor the first round. It was a great game. Game 1 went super long. Game 2, and I won. Game 2, yeah, we almost got there in time, but I managed to take that 2-0. And then second game was against the aggro green. Super cool list, to be honest. I don't remember the name of the player, but they were playing essentially a very aggro list with the Blade Beast that exhaust when it attacks for each 2k. They were playing this guy. There you go. And this guy. Yeah, very good. Quite frankly, I got quite lucky. First game, I saw the suppression, I saw the X-Biter and the Grig Armor, and then I sighted in an Infinity Shield, and I think Black Jaguar hit once, and Turbo X came down to bounce his big guy. So yeah, it was good. 2-0. Third round was against Andrea. Shout out to my fellow Italian. Again, unlucky playing against friends, but it is what it is. He was playing a purple list with this dude. And I can't stress enough the fact that when you play cards that no one expects, like you have an edge by default. That can be a small edge if that opponent like knows the cards and has tested against the card or is a good player, whatever. Or it could be an enormous edge because You know, maybe they don't know the card and they're not prepared, and they read the card but then they forget about it, you know, like that's a real thing. So I think it's important to consider like what cards can help you achieve your game strategy but might not the same card that everyone else uses. I think that's super good. So a huge respect for this. It was a great game. I managed to take that to nil, and then we got into lunch break. So it was EXO 3-0. Felt really good. Had a bit of lunch, and then round 4 against my mate Harry. Harry had an insane run on day 1, like completely smashed it. He won first game, and then I won the second game, and the third game was a blur. Like he just smashed me, I think. Like I don't remember what happened, but this list is like so great. You know, give him credit for such a robust performance, and just the read on the meta was impeccable. Like with a field full of white, like playing the Swarm's Dragonaga, negating that, you know, that swing with Dragonaga Assassin that is required to draw a card. Plus, you draw a card on the first turn. You can draw a card on the first turn. It was such a good call. Not playing the Camelot Knight, amazing call, I think, for that 2k conversation. And playing the Bacchus King Curse combo. Super good. There's no fool around. So only X-Biter was safe. And then playing the multiple course to accelerate the curve, make sure that he had access to the combo as quick as possible. Fantastic. So lost against Harry 2-1. And then 5th round was against Thomas. I think this is him. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so he beat me round 5. So Thomas got 2nd place in the previous Grand Open in the UK. Great player. He played his purple deck and was super strong. He won the first game. I won the second game. And then third game, we got into time. I didn't side enough cards. It's the 3rd time in a row. But yeah, I lost on card count. It felt really bad. So it's fine though. Lost 2-1 card count. Round 6 was red, Pterosaur. So not much to say. It was a red Terra. Played very well, but I managed to win 2-0. And the last one was purple. It was a purple curse that sided into a Dragon Bacchus combo. So that was really, really good. That was very unexpected. Like first game was like curse, and then second game it was that little bit of curse, but you know, boom, dragon and Bacchus instead of the Meduke and I think of the Nemesis. So very, very good. Managed to win 2-0. So to recap, I played a red turn 1, green aggro turn 2, purple curse turn 3, purple core control turn 4, purple curse turn 5, I would call it, a red Terra 6, and 7 purple again. Made it to top 8 just 5-2. I mean, just, yeah. There's like a 4% tiebreak on the 9th, but like, hey, we take it. Lucky. What was less lucky was the pairing for the first day on top 8 because Harry went undefeated. Insane run for him. So yeah, Saturday ended like this. We went out, had a great time. Really like Glasgow. Maybe we stayed out a bit too long, but we had myself, Frankie, which is a teammate of mine, and Marvin and Harry, good friends. And then managed to also meet Pascal. Everyone was great, to be honest. So I first round Harry again, and I was like, okay, well, you know, let's try. It's a card game. I was lucky. He was less lucky. I won 2-1. Just nothing major happened. Just like I drew better. And then top 4, I went against Daniel. He flew from the States, actually. Bless him. Like, he had like a super long layover and then killed it. Like, amazing player. Was playing YX Spider. At least that it's kind of similar, but not really. Like, you can tell the difference between mine and Dan's list, I think, looking at obviously the card, but also the proportions. Obviously, it's not massively different, but I like to think that like there is a different thought process. Against Dan, I lost the first game. He managed to put down 2 elks, and I did like play it well, where I had the ice shield and I would put the core in the reserve and then save myself for 2 turns and then do the Aegis to go back up, and I had the Dyna to close the game, but he had the ice shield, so not much there. And then second game, that's where our Turborex came in clutch. So it won me the second game. Bouncing the elk removes so much, like deletes like so much momentum. It was insane. And then the third game, it was just crazy. Third game, I played a Greg Armor, and then I played a Jaguar, and then I ascended Turborex on the Jaguar to bounce his elk, kept my Greg Armor for the white armor. Then he Dream Bombed Turborex. The other turn, then I played Turborex on Greg Armor to bounce his elk again, and he bounces it again. And then I managed to play Aegis, draw a card, and then ascend into Turborex, because I just got the value out of Aegis, and then bounce the elk again, and that just got me the game. Final against Alex. Alex is essentially the OG Pterosaur owner, I would say, pilot. I mean, Alex knowledge and understanding of the game is unparalleled. He is a great player, and it just run me over. I did side, obviously, my good old Flame Breath, but he said it himself. He drew jokers like it was his job, essentially. He drew 7 jokers in 2 games, so we had to take a picture of him holding 7. It's gonna become a meme, but yeah, overall was a great experience. Thanks to OP for organizing, thanks to all the boys, thanks to Frankie, Carlo, Harry, Anthony, Josh, Aaron, Ayumu, Marv, everyone in the boys chat. Great performance, everyone. And yeah, thanks for watching, and leave a comment if you have any questions, and maybe I'll post another video. I don't know. Take care.